Hey everybody, welcome back to Critical Pixels episode 8 of the Swindle. I know it's been a little while, but just thought I'd try to close this one out before we start getting into some of the larger things that are going to be coming down the pike for the channel. A lot more really interesting things that I want to try to focus on. Also want to actually get back into clearing up some of the backlog of stuff, so I apologize. But, you know, the Swindle, it's been a pretty rough ride. So this at least is the tail end of this failed mission. As you can see, only 8 days remain. I don't even think that I've got a lot of cash left. Oh, I actually have $25,000 or pounds, but you know, that's not really enough, I think. Primarily because I really kind of have blown so much of this one mission itself. I don't really know that I want to spend any of this. I'm not even worrying about that because, you know, I've got 8 days. Really, I've got 8 days. Let's just see how far we can get. I mean, like I was saying in an earlier episode, I have a feeling that I'm probably just going to try to replay this. Well, I'll finish out these last 8 days, and then basically the idea will more than likely be trying to replay it and trying to see if I can actually redeem myself, and maybe there'll be one last video kind of highlighting what some of the later episodes of the Swindle could be like when I'm not horribly sucking at the game itself. So, you know, like I said, we're still back in the casino. Things are still really rough because of how I've been playing. Still have had just a ridiculous amount of trouble with it because you really do kind of have to be in that zone, man. You really do. Right now things seem to be... Oh no, one of those block things. These are horrible. You know, it really is kind of one of those things where I think you kind of have to considerately play consistently for a period of time. Taking a break for any particular reason definitely going to throw you off. Not going to be the best circumstance for you. As I unfortunately discovered, because my skills were just so blatantly off playing this game that there were plenty of times when I probably should have known better and just wound up blowing what would have been completely makeable heists for me. Just by stupid moves at times too. So yeah, like part of it really is kind of getting in the zone, knowing exactly what things are, also knowing kind of how things operate. I mean, like some of these robots. Kind of knowing or sensing how far you can push, or not push in some cases, like that. I mean, quite honestly, I normally would not. What? I don't even see what hit me. Yeah, well, anyway, normally I wouldn't push for things like that, but right now, in some ways, it's almost a little freeing because, you know, I only have 7 days. I'm not going to make it to the end. I'm pretty sure I already know that, so it's not even worth getting upset anymore because I already know that this is kind of a lost cause. And in some ways. So the only thing that in some cases I need to do is pretty much focus on not messing up too badly. Still doesn't mean that I won't do it. It just means... Oh! That was unexpected. It just means, you know, try... Is he still alive? He's... Son of... He... What? I still don't know what is killing me. I don't know if it's the kind of caterpillar thing or what, but for some reason... anyway, so I think having kind of fumbled my way through the Swindle, I think that there are a couple of things that I can partially start to provide as kind of tips or hints for some people. For one thing, you never really want to make your way on a heist, kind of like guns blazing. I mean, it's kind of obvious in some ways. You want to approach it almost like a thief would, where you want to scout out your location first. You want to carefully assess what all the threats are, things like that, especially based on whatever the abilities happen to be that you have. But on top of that, I mean, you also kind of need to start to figure out and scout out exactly who has things like the hearing ability or the scouting ability to kind of ratchet up their threat or their hazards by sound. Those, in some cases, almost are more important to suss out, especially in the later levels, than you would think, because it really is kind of that ratcheted up level that can determine success or failure a lot of the time, especially as you start going through some of these later sections and things just start getting a little squirrely, let's say, because all of a sudden you start seeing like a lot more of those like robot drones that start coming out of those blimps. You start seeing guys that start moving much faster than you ever expected them to, and it could be the key difference between success and failure. Another thing that I've noticed, which is really kind of a huge advantage in some ways, is getting the ability to hack machines, and also the ability to profit from destroying guards. It's so key, because you're going to be taking out so many guards anyway. You might as well profit from them, and the sooner you can do that, the more cash you'll get to be able to acquire more abilities. Now, the other thing, and this is key, is sometimes you need to double jump, triple jump, whatever. So triple jumps are going to be huge. I never really thought that needing to focus on things like that would be as vital as it was until playing, and then all of a sudden realized that triple jump had so much necessity, just like the ability to hang on the wall at times. What is this? What? Oh, wow, this is... That's... I've never even heard of this. Where... Wow, okay, so even still, like, as I'm trying to do a rap, the game still has the ability to surprise me by throwing in elements that I've never even seen, like, I guess apparently, my cache can be reached by someone, another player, satellite dish. I don't even know. I mean, clearly that like what was being reached for the games that I had from eating robots, because that's it. Clearly, again, sticking up the joint with not getting any heists completed. I didn't really know that I expected that I was going to. But it would always kind of be nice to get at least one before this one ends horrendously. What? Wow. So I guess that was the wrong computer to hack, because that was an alarm computer, not actually a cache computer. Which kind of brings up another thing, which is not everything that you see that is in the level is potentially your friend. Having the ability to hack security is really important, but also knowing when exactly something is a threat and something is safe is huge, because sometimes that can actually be I don't know if I'd say the dividing line, but it can be a huge plus when it comes to being safe and being caught. Similarly, I think the thing that I would say is you don't always have to hack every little thing, unless you know that you're basically going to try to drag enemies that are chasing you into the wake, or you're unsure of your directions, and so you're basically going to try to pull a lot of guards your direction. I don't recommend it all the time. It can be a very, very shaky proposition, especially because sometimes you're not entirely sure if you've fully gotten the right computer, you've found everything you need. It's tricky. But if you can do it, so much the better, because then, you can basically drag these guys right in the path, and they'll get zapped, blown up, electrocuted, what have you. But it's definitely one of those things that you don't necessarily want to plan on. It's more of kind of like a defensive tactic at best. I mean, primarily because you're not always guaranteed that these robots are going to go the direction that you're trying to drag them, and it can be one of the more nerve-wracking things to basically be sitting there waiting or hoping that a bot goes one way, just to find out that it never will. So right now I've actually got a pretty decent haul. This would be the first haul that I've actually done, which is kind of sad. But sometimes it seems to work that way, or at least in these run-throughs, sometimes that's how it seemed to run. Again, it's a little sad, but you can only do so much sometimes. don't even know that I want to attempt with that. What I will do, actually, is just scout around. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, there's not really much. I think that's all fine and good and nice. I'm gonna get out. I don't really care. 1 day left, 53%. I don't really have that much. But I've got 84,000 in the bank. I could try to see if there's anything else that will help me. Let's see, there's what? Sticking to walls. Improving how I stick to walls. There's another jump. More hacking speed. Okay, so actually, excuse me for a second. What I'm going to do, because I don't excuse me again, I don't believe that I've got enough to go over, which I don't. I'm gonna also just kind of highlight a few things. Double jumping, huge. Like, I can't stress it enough. If you can get it, I definitely recommend it. Not only for the ability to escape hazards, get to new places, but it's really, really important just to get around a lot of the mansions, especially when they start to get vertical. Or not getting vertical in both directions. That's kind of redundant, but as the mansions start to scale and they start getting a lot taller, but they also start going a little bit more underground, the ability to double jump between different places or just to literally wall bounce is key, not only to avoid guards but also to get around. The movement speed is kind of a no-brainer. You have to have that, especially on the later levels when you need to try to get around all the enemies that are popping up. Sticking to the surfaces, you'd be so surprised, but it's like initially it's not as key. As time goes on, that becomes pretty valuable, especially the sticking to windows part, because there are so many more window surfaces that start popping up. It's kind of surprising, actually. Stealth, pretty important, but you can save it for probably the first level into the middle of the second level. I think is the first time that the hearing guards actually started popping up, the hearing bots. So you can actually save that. You can save up for that. The falling one also pretty useful, but again, you can save it as long as you got like the ability to stick to walls, the double jumps, triple jumps, things like that. You'll be fine. The abilities, on the other hand, now here's where you start actually getting into some pretty key stuff. I wish I actually had the money for that. That would be really cool to be able to send drones after other guards. I think that is probably going to be one of those things that will be so useful, especially in the casino later levels. But I highly recommend sinking in money into the hacking skills as soon as possible. Not only will it give you loads of cash, but it will also get you ways around doors, ways around the cameras, which are huge. The cameras are such a threat, especially in these later sections. Hack speed, always boost your hack speed. That's the one thing that I have noticed is attempting to hack anything, whether it's the mines, the doors, the computers, virtually anything, you need speed, especially because sometimes you don't have the time to hack your way between uh, what seems to be clear, and a guard that basically comes racing down the hallway and stops your heist in its tracks. So hack speed, really, really important. Similarly, hack aptitude. If there is really a vital element, you want the extra cash for virtually everything, whether that is, you know, destroying robots, hacking machines, what have you. Any way that you can get extra cash, so you can get more stuff, so you can possibly buy additional abilities or move to new levels. It's all about the money. Yeah, I mean, it's all about the Benjamins, clearly. Like, that's really where it is, or all about the pounds. It's all about it. Melee strength, this is important, but right now, in some ways, the really key thing is you want to save up to get that first level. The first level will actually last you for quite a while, easily until you're into the third district. You can deal with the baseline strength to level 1 of melee strength. Once you start getting into like like the tail end of the third district to the fourth district of the city, I have a feeling that getting that melee strength up is going to be key, especially just to take out so many of those droids that seem to just like come back and forth constantly and fight you. Action hero, no. I can't stress no enough. Hell no, you don't even need that. Like, there have been so many times that I had that, and it was more of an accidental thing that got me into more trouble than anything. Stay away from that skill if you ever have the option. Just don't even do it. I think Bionic Eyes, however, I believe that probably will be useful. I mean, the ability to look up or down and just get a certain sense of where things are, that's kind of important. But I think, and I haven't actually checked it out yet, but who knows, level 2 could be worth it, especially as the mansions get a little bit bigger and there's more size. I actually have no idea about Teleporter. And the main reason why is because it's 350,000 pounds. I don't even know if I've made 350,000 pounds during this entire playthrough session. I probably have. I probably have, just to get through all of these districts. But that's a ton of cash. My guess is if you're rolling in money, you've made it into like District 5 or 6. Yeah. Go for it. Or if you've been bankrolling so much and you're just acing every single heist, yeah, because you probably have the money for it. When it comes to tools, bombs are huge. Like, I didn't really think that bombs were going to be as necessary or as key as they are, but the ability to blow up sections, walls, in some ways even like set traps with bombs, really important. I wish I'd actually spent for more, but then again, if I did that, in some ways, like, here's the thing with bombs. If you're going to use bombs, or if you're going to go with bombs, in some ways you're almost like dedicating yourself to being a bomber. It's almost one of those elements where you're pretty much deciding that if anything happens, anything pops up, you are basically going to blast your way out of it. It's a choice, but in that case, then you're going to be sinking a lot of money into bombs, and you're possibly not going to have a lot of cash for some of the other items. I would recommend, especially as time goes on, that you get like at least level 1, so you have bombs at the very least, because at least one set of 3 bombs will be useful, and then you gauge whether or not you actually want to spend the extra cash for the bombs. I didn't. There are some moments when I wish I did, but I think I probably made a better choice in saving some of it for some of the other upgrades. So, your mileage may vary on that. Ditto with the bomb strength. I didn't worry about it. But it's kind of the whole thing of being a bomber. It's 50,000 pounds. I'm not spending that much on bombs unless I know I actually have the money for it, or I'm rolling in it, and I just simply wasn't. Ditto with the rig speed. That would be really, really useful. Bombs do seem to take at least like 4 to 5 seconds to rig, whereas I think with bomb speed you can actually crank those out pretty quick. But it's also another 12,000 pounds. You can use that in a few other ways. Again, make your choice as to whether you want to be a bomber or you want to be a tech or whatever. Now, Steam. Steam can be a tricky call. In one of the sessions that I played when I was trying to record, like the Swindle one previous time before, basically my file was corrupted and I had to start over. I had Steam, and Steam worked fine, but it's a temporary thing, and the guards, like, while they get confused, they start to then come back because they know something's up. I think Steam could be really useful, especially if you're trying to make a getaway and you're trying to get back to your escape hatch to jump out. But essentially, if you've already been detected, you might as well get out anyway as quickly as possible without worrying about Steam or tricks or anything else, because the jig is already up if you ever need to deploy Steam. Ditto with how it recharges, or how it automatically does it on its own. That's pretty pricey at 120,000 pounds. Same with like paying 25,000 or 120,000 for it to recharge. I don't know. I can't recommend it, but you never know. Now, I never got into the bugs or the remote detonations, so I really couldn't tell you whether or not those are useful. They seem pretty pricey to me. I mean, like, the bugs, and I don't know what they do. This is something that I have to find out a little bit more of to see why you would need the bugs and what exactly they do. But I'm not really that interested in paying 75,000 pounds together for essentially 2 bugs at all. Ditto with the remote detonation. I don't fully know exactly if that's for bombs or something else. The bot confuse, until I actually know that's going to be extremely useful, I'm not going to recommend the 65 grand for it. The local EMP, though, I think is definitely a tactic, a way to go, but again, only if you have the cash for it. Now, the goggles, I don't know that you need to worry about them. More than likely, if you move a little slow, you can pretty much get around the amount of noise that you're making. You don't really need to spend the 20,000. The computer locator, again, for 10 grand, you're not necessarily getting that much out of something that you can probably already scout yourself, especially if you have the ability to let you see up and down in the floors with bionic eyes. So I would probably lean away from that. The security station locator app, again, if you have bionic eyes, my guess is that you can probably skip that, because that's 15 grand. I think you'd probably be okay, seriously. And then the last one is the level scanner, which just highlights like where everything is and how much money's on the level. For 10 grand, it could be useful, but again, if you're being thorough, you're being cautious, especially if you've already got like some of the elements to help you get additional money for essentially breaking every single guard, you're probably going to go for this anyway. And that's this one. It's Scrapyard. Scrapyard, you know, it's 25,000. It seems pricey, but it is so worth it. I can't even tell you how much cash I wish I'd gotten with Scrapyard. It's so useful. It's almost a necessity. I highly recommend it as soon as you possibly can, because it will pay back for what you're saving, or for what you're spending. Like, it's easily one of the first things that anybody should always put in for. The pod steam purge, again, it's 50,000. I would not worry about it. The police interference, yeah, I can see it, but it is pricey. I mean, yeah, 5,000 at the start, not that bad. But when it jumps up to 40 and then 90,000, if you got the money, go for it. If you don't, save it. Just hold off on it. Clearly, I didn't have enough for the hack station because I just didn't make it there, and I did not make enough for this either. So, given that I only have one final mission, I might as well just buy the last hack speed, see what that's like, because it's not like I can take this with me. And I'll buy the bionic eyes, and we'll go into the very last mission that I have, with 1 day remaining. Just having blown the Swindle horrifically. So, wow. Okay, so clearly hack speed. Very useful. Wow! And I almost blew up because of that hacked mine. But yeah, clearly, speed of the hacking, quite useful. My guess is that I probably wouldn't have blown up by so many mines had my hack speed been further up, because I would have been able to, just get around some of those hazards. Sight unseen, perhaps? So, I'm not even going to worry about that guard or that camera. At least not yet. Let's see here. So there's another guard. 2 guards. The windows. My guess is probably a camera up top. So that's one. Let's wait for him to discharge, because of course he's tracking me. That actually brings me to another point, which is start to try to learn whatever the possible patterns are of some of these creatures, or these bots, because it's not always possible. Ooh, wow, that hack speed gets around that in a heartbeat. It's not always possible, and believe me, I have tried as hard as I possibly could at times, trying to figure out where something was possibly going. But if you, what the? Okay, I don't even know what that is. Okay, they're floating harpoon guys. That's the first time I've ever even seen those things. Of course, it happens to be on my very last day, in this playthrough. Again, the Swindle, keeping me further on my toes than I necessarily wanted to be. With hazards that I didn't even know existed. Yeesh. Will be extremely lovely. And I don't think I'm gonna know this until it happens, is if there was like a security kiosk somewhere around that I could use to just kill that camera. And I don't know that I'm gonna find that. Okay, don't want to do that again. And since it's the last one, I won't have to. Oof. Thank you, Big Ben, letting me know that my time is almost up. Nothing if not punctual, letting me know that my heisting is almost over. And I don't want to hack that at all. If I can help it. But anyway, going back to the whole knowing the pattern, knowing the threats, knowing that certain things will get set off for varying reasons, whether that happens to be, you know, one of those computer alarms, the way that those things that I call the floating lawnmowers tend to move and circle, knowing just how far the motorcycle guards have with their line of sight. Things like this starts to help, and in some ways, part of that is trial and error, which, of course, given the way that the game plays, there's going to be a lot of trial and error that you will go through. You just will. I'm just gonna try to get out. Because I don't... Is that a flamethrower? Wow. And that is exactly how it ends. A smoking husk of a game. Yeah. Oh, wait, do I get to try one more? I don't know that I do. Oh, I think this is the demo that shows that I failed. Or the end video that shows I failed. Let's see. Yep. Game over. Looks like the thieves in London town are all done. There is no joy to be found whatsoever. Um, but yeah. So that's a really quick uh, wrap for the Swindle. Actually, I don't really know if I could say it was that quick, but tried to give a little bit more, as far as hints were concerned, a few more ideas about how not to play, especially just showing you what I was doing or how I was kind of blowing it. Anyway, again, take your time, scout out your environment, try to figure out what the enemies are that are thrown at you. Don't be surprised if all of a sudden new enemies pop up performing completely new abilities and search patterns than you've seen before. As you just saw, that can happen at virtually any time, including if you've played it a number of times and you think you know what to expect. Make sure that you upgrade so that you get as much cash as you possibly can. That will make all of your time infinitely easier, much better when it comes to acquiring what you have to have, and also going a lot farther in accessing newer districts, things like that. But yeah, that's a quick look at the Swindle. Like I said, I'll probably try to play through. Oh, one other thing. Expect that you're going to be playing it a couple different times. Some of it is just simply trying to get used to what's going on within the game, how it plays, and also figuring things out step by step. So you're probably going to bomb out like I did in these videos before you actually start to really lock in and master your way through this. So anyway, I'm gonna probably play the game again just so that I can get a little bit further. Probably have one final Swindle video, probably well, hopefully farther than the casino district, just so I can show you guys what that looks like too. And yeah, that's basically it. So if you have any comments, questions, or suggestions, please feel free to get in touch with me. You can send me a comment in the thread below. You can shoot me an email at cryptpixels@gmail.com. That's CRITPIXELS@gmail.com, or you can hit me up on Twitter at cryptpixels. Like I said, I've got a couple other things I've been working on for summer with a couple different other games, so those will be coming very, very shortly. Anyway, I'm Jeff Haynes, and as always, may all your hits be critical and all your pixels stay bright. See ya!